Well, hello there, girlfriend. Ingafay here. Super excited to be with you once again. Wanted to share another coaching girlfriend with you. Well, she's not really a coach. She calls herself a specialist. Matter of fact, she is a time, mindset, and management specialist. Her name is Karrie, and I'm super excited to share her with you. So I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Hey, Karrie girl, what's going on?
I'm doing great, Inga. Good to be here.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you here, girl. So tell us a little bit about you. We want to get in your business. We want to know who you are, who you serve, and how you serve them.
Well, I certainly appreciate asking. So I will say that I'm a native Floridian, actually born and raised. I was in the corporate world for about 18 years and very grateful that my parents were very well organized and take care of the house. So in a sense, I took care of other people's schedules, keeping them organized. And got out of the corporate world about 13 years ago and started networking. Awesome. And I have a gentleman I met who helped me create my co-found my first business called Gift Problem Solver. And I tell people if I didn't take the time to sit down with him, listen to him, I wouldn't have created my first business, Gift Problem Solver. So in a sense, it was a brand, GPS. And right. I went to conferences and seminars as I used to sell candles and purses and then jewelry.
Wow.
And by attending those conferences, a lot of us, I would say, we write things down, but not often knowing how to put those notes into a result. We're always so ingrained with our habits. So the universe brought me a coach, and I knew I couldn't keep doing the same thing over and over again. So I hired a coach, and what people would say about me, I was good at networking, good at follow-up, good at asking questions. Mm-hmm. So I've been spending a lot of quality time on myself, thousands of hours and dollars on my human potential. And after being a life mastery coach and co-leading a workshop called Great People Skills, I created this business, Great Partnership Solutions, because now that I've taken the time to fulfill my wants and needs, and like many people, we want to help others, but I've taken the time to serve myself, talk about serving. So I took the time to serve myself and define my wants and needs and fulfill them. So my goal is to now take my time and patience to serve others and getting clarity and more focus. I always use the analogy like a server at a restaurant. Right. We can't get the food without the server. So I'm a liaison to support people getting more what they want, but we don't take the time to sit down and define it. I guess the things can't change.
Right. Awesome. What a story. Now I'm curious, what did you do in your corporate job? Was it related to what you currently do now?
Well, no, I would say, but it's got the same skills. I was an executive administrative assistant. So again, I took care of other people's calendars and organized for them and, documents. And so in a sense, having those skills, that's what I did for this, for the individual or the team and getting them organized. But I knew I remember getting very bored in corporate and got myself fired on December 7th of 2009. And 3 weeks later started going out networking and meeting people and sitting down, having coffee and, following other people around to other events so I could find ways to, because when we're entrepreneurs, you have to get out and meet people. In corporate, you don't have to get out there and get anywhere, but it's, a new way of living, a new structure.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that is definitely the difference between a corporate job and an entrepreneurial job. The corporate job, they can just be in their cubicle or their office all day, not have to talk to anybody. But if you're an entrepreneur, you definitely got to be out and about meeting folks, because that is the way that you build your business. So I'm curious, how did you get you kind of sort of told us how you got this started. How did you start your first when you were talking about your GPS business? How was that created after you got laid off?
So I went to a networking event on December 31st and I was selling candles. At the time, I was with a company called Party Light, which is a home-based business for 5 years. Yep. And so I met this guy, Norman, and Norman asked, you can't just be a candle lady. I said, well, why not? He says, anybody can be a candle lady. And I thought, well, what does that mean? What are you trying to say? He says, well, you got to brand yourself.
Exactly.
Over my head, but I was willing to listen and take the time to sit down with him. And he came up with the Gift Problem Solver GPS company name and the brand. And I remember being, where I was, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm a GPS, and just kind of went from there. And people knew me as a gift problem solver, and first selling candles with Party Light, then a home-based business called Michi, which was an interchangeable purse, and then jewelry. And I guess you can say I used to have a showroom of inventory downstairs in my living room, and used to have cash and carry events, and people could buy stuff off my body or my jewelry or off my tables. But at the end of the day, I think, we all have a burning desire to really, there's a bigger purpose in life, and not knowing what that bigger purpose and how I could serve others.
Right.
Knew there was something better. So that's what the universe, from networking, a coach came in my life, and she saw the way I lived. And I just knew if I didn't go with her, don't take that guidance, I would keep doing it. So I tell people, if I don't keep doing, if somebody offered me this bottle of water and I don't take it, but I'm dying of thirst, and I'm trying to get everybody else to buy it, I'm like, well, be your own ideal client, take it. If you want something, take it. So the sooner you take something, the sooner life can move forward, and other people you could attract also doing that.
Yes, for sure. So I'm curious, did you have your home-based business before you got laid off, or was that something you started after?
I started after, because I was in corporate 18 years. And in 2004, I actually had 4 jobs. So I had a full-time day job, part-time at the Olive Garden, and 2 network marketing companies. And they all look good on paper because I was buying my house then, and I'm currently still in. And so when I got out of corporate, I only had the party light business at the time for 5 years. And, at that point I was all focused in earning a free cruise, which I did as well. So I just had, just had the candle business. I didn't have anything else at that time. Just no more. Didn't want to go back. I just knew I didn't want to go back to corporate. So my attitude.
No, I get it. I totally get it. Yeah. So you were like, I'm going to make this thing work. I'm going to figure it out because I'm not going back. So I totally get it. Totally get it. So is that what inspired you to launch your business? Was the fact that you didn't want to go back to corporate, or was it something else?
The first business?
Yeah, the first business.
Yeah, I would say so. Because when I had candles at the time and gift problem solver, and I, met a woman who sold this interchangeable purse called a Michi bag, and I had seen it on QVC, but she was carrying a bigger size purse, which they reinvented that wheel and added other products to the line. And at the time, it wasn't a network marketing company, but it did turn into one. Okay. And I used to be somebody who always liked changing my color of my bag, and who wants to keep taking everything out and switching. So at the time, I enjoyed just taking off the covers and changing the outside rather than the inside. And it was with that company for about 7 years until they went out of business. But I was still known as a gift problem solver at the time. I sold Party Light, Michi, Park Lane, different companies, but just kept under the brand GPS Gift Problem Solver instead of, trying to represent a company.
Yeah. So I think that is gold, what you just said. Absolutely gold. Because I know for the most part, the people that are watching this are home-based business owners. And you said that without me even telling you the importance of branding yourself, because it's so important to brand yourself. Now you said you are the gift problem solver. So it didn't matter what you sold. You could sell the candles under that. You could sell the purses under that. You could sell the jewelry under that, because that is how you branded yourself. Correct. So it's so important for people to hear that that's what you did, because most of the time people brand themselves as XYZ consultant. I'm the Party Light consultant. So then when they change businesses just like you did, they have to rebrand themselves as the jewelry lady or the purse lady. But when you took that generic approach to it, saying, hey, I'm the gift problem solver, it didn't matter what you sold. You just sold it under that same brand. I think that is absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. But if I didn't take the time to sit down with him and listen to him, again, I tell people I wouldn't be here today if I didn't listen to him. He could just told me I couldn't be a candle lady. But if I wanted to close the door and put judgment on it, I wouldn't be open to hearing it. Right. I'm here today with my third GPS business. Right. Exactly. So tell us a little bit more about your business, your current business now, because are you still doing the gift problem solver on the side, or is this
No, I don't get close. I mean, being I'm a time person, I don't want to focus my time and attention on something that no longer serves me. Right. My time is to be focused on things that I know that I'm good at and what for me would come natural. But having the gift problem solver, so I've been since 2011 investing in my human potential. So I, with my coach and also experiential workshops, I've been attending these workshops and committing to, getting out of my own way and learning how to empower myself and not have all these limiting beliefs. Mm-hmm. And I was told I was good at networking. The founder of the human potential company I'm part of, called Self-Discovery Life Mastery, he recognized, and I had people always tell me I'm good at networking. I was embarrassed at the time, but he helped, he brought together me and a previous business partner, and we co-created a company called Great People Skills. So hence the other next GPS work, it was a communications workshop that we hosted in person to teach people how to pay more attention to other people, to be more interested and be more present and can be more connected. Learning how to get out of our own head and be more listening to others, what others have to say.
Right.
And being a life mastery coach, and we parted ways as a team in 21. So then I said, all right, went to one of our workshops. I said, I'm going to create my next business. And now I've created my third business called Great Partnership Solutions. Hence on the 3 things I was always good at: networking, asking questions, and follow-up.
Exactly. And still under the GPS model.
Correct. Well, it made no sense why I changed something.
Exactly.
I'm a human GPS.
That's right. If it's not broken, why fix it? Right. That is so cool. So in your newest venture, tell me, what do you see people struggling the most with in there and just building their business, living their life, day-to-day life? Share with us what that is.
Sure. Well, I'll say a lot of people, I will say, too busy trying to catch the fish, and it's always new clients and not enough time to themselves and making themselves a priority, as well as maybe the fish they've already caught, their wives, their children, their family, their friends, and kind of forgetting about that. Some will say they wish they had more structure or more personal time, being more effective, productive versus procrastinating.
Right.
I will say too, from my own awarenesses and personal growth, when I got out of corporate, I didn't have to go out and try to sell anything. So becoming an entrepreneur, as I see many people do, and being in network marketing, I'm going to own it. So I used to push my products on people. The agenda, don't you want my candles? Right. Don't you want my jewelry? Don't you want the makeup? Don't you want this? Exactly. That? Yep. So what I became aware of was how I operated. So when I was willing to be open to see that I was pushing rather than asking. So how can I be more interested in people and ask better questions? So how do I ask myself, well, how do I buy from people? What interests me? What gets me to buy from other people? And how can I be more like that? Because the more I can be more human connected to people and not trying to force something on them, but be more interested in them and learning how to do that. So again, so people can feel my genuineness versus my agenda to push. And most of us don't like being pushed on. And if we say we don't want to be pushy, we probably are.
Yep.
And not asking that general questions. We're afraid of the no's.
Yep. You're spot on. You're spot on. Yep. You're spot on. And it's amazing how typically in a direct sales or home-based business, your upline is encouraging you to do what you just said you shouldn't do, is to push XYZ product on the people. And they tell you things like, everybody needs your product. Yeah, everybody may need it, but everybody doesn't want it or don't want to buy it. And if you're nagging them like you described earlier, they don't want it from you because they want somebody that really cares about them and genuinely wants to help them go and do whatever their next desire is. And like you said, if you don't ask those questions, you don't know what their next desire is. You're just assuming that you think you know because you're pushing whatever product or service or whatever is on sale that particular month from your company on to the next person, for sure. But
we don't know any different unless somebody brings it to our attention to be open to know what we're doing. So we're like a machine or a car. But if I don't have anybody who can show me versus trying to defend it, but if I'm not open or willing to change, I mean, it sounds great, like waiting at a menu, but never actually getting the food and eating it. But how would I know how to do that? Right. I never knew how to drink this bottle. I mean, it's a cup, but what is this thing? I don't know. But if I never brought it to my mouth and sipped, there's something actually in here, but I don't get an experience of it. How can I give you my feedback?
Exactly. You're spot on. You're spot on.
We're not always knowing how we operate. And, we've never really had anybody show us how these things, but that's the whole point of having coaches, I guess, like myself or you, to help people be aware of these things and asking them questions of what could be better. And what if you did get something better, what could the outcome be?
Yeah. So I'm curious, how did you come to this revelation about not pushing it on people? Was it the interaction that you had with the gentleman that you mentioned initially? Or was it just kind of some self-evaluation that you were kind of pondering and really reflecting on what you had done. I don't know, maybe for the day or for the week, and kind of thinking through, okay, I've been doing this and I'm not getting the desired result. So what can I do different? I'm just curious what kind of process you went through to get where you came to now.
Gotcha. Well, I hired a self-discovery coach. So again,
Okay.
I had personal training with her, and we teach people how to have a quieter mind. So I'm listening more to my intuition. So
Right.
if I listen to my intuition, I can then ask myself a question. Well, why am I doing this?
Right.
But who actually takes the time to sit down and do that for themselves?
Yeah.
But that's why we hire people, coaches, to help us take the time to sit down and reflect. If I just keep running an automatic and I don't take the time to help, somebody guide me. I don't just say we've all been to school and our parents did the best to guide us. Our teachers are there to guide us, but if we don't keep going after we graduate, and who else is there to support us in, learning and growing?
Right.
But if I became aware of myself, because again, at the end of the day, I guess you could say I was like, the more and more I became aware of myself and how I did things, I could then catch myself and go, oh, I just did that. Oh, I don't
Right.
like that. So
Right.
I remember being with somebody at a coffee table and I was about to say something and I'm like, oh, I take that back. Hang on.
Right. Right. Right.
But that's being able to be present and aware in a slow motion, to be like, oh, what did I just say? And I
Yeah.
can take it back in that moment.
Yep, for sure. And that didn't come from your upline, correct? That kind of,
oh gosh, no.
yeah.
All this came from my coach and my human development and potential. So an outside resource.
Yeah.
But this thing right here, none of us came with an owner's manual.
Exactly.
So I don't understand how I operate. I won't understand how other people operate. So the more I can understand how I operate as a human being and why I do the things I do and why I did the things I did.
Right.
With
Right.
honesty and clarity, the more I can forgive myself and forgive others for what they not know, and how can we keep moving forward?
On. Exactly. You've given us some golden nuggets, Karrie. And the thing about it is, I didn't even have to coach you to do it. You just did it, which is awesome. And I just love that. That just reiterates what I've been telling them over and over again about, how to build their business, what kind of things we need to do, and how important it is that it's not always your company upline or your company leadership that's going to give you that type of training, that you have to go outside of the company to really get that training. Because they can't give you what they don't know. Right. So for sure. I'm curious, when you think of a motto, what would be your motto that you would share with your clients that you could potentially share with us today? Do you have a motto?
Motto as in, what do you mean?
A motto, yes, a slogan that you would tell people.
Oh, like a phrase or something.
Yeah.
Well, I can always start off with, be the change you wish to see in the world.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm here every day to be a better version of myself. If I'm willing to make changes in my life, because I would say, earlier, this came to my attention when you say serving. So when the mask comes from the plane, the first person supposed to get it is me. And then I take that mask and then I can pass it on to others. But if I don't take the time to understand and selfishly fulfill my wants and needs, helping defining what that is and fulfilling them, how can I better serve and be selfishly serving others? So I'll say, often as women, we give a lot of our time to other people.
Yep.
And people please, not, men can do it too, but often we don't, my experience, not having enough people in our lives to turn around and say, what do you need, without judgment or an agenda?
Right.
So I'm grateful to being able to, have a coach and being around people and having other masters and experts that even tomorrow I'll be spending 8 hours with my, soul family. So I'm very grateful to be committed to my human potential for 10 years and same company and same coach. And so at the end of the day, like yourself and myself, I hope people, if they ask me if I have a coach, it'd be like, yep, because if I don't keep getting clarity from the people I, know who are experts, shame on me for not, who were trying to tell you, because I always want to talk to experts to help me learn something, since when I learn something and do it and put to action, then I can share that with you, with my clients. So you're welcome.
Exactly. We got to lead by example.
Exactly.
We can't tell them to do one thing and we do something altogether different. That's for sure.
That's one of the things I support people. Be the example, starting with our attitude, behaviors, our actions, results. So I support people. Imagine, would you want to work with you? Would you want to be talking to you, spending time with you?
Exactly.
So if this isn't what you want, then let's make that time to be spending on it and focus on our lives and not complaining of other people what they don't do, but take time to focus on what you want and, create the results you want. And hopefully share with the people that also want to hear that results.
Exactly. So I know that you wanted me to share your YouTube channel. I'm going to bring that up now. Yeah, tell us a little bit about your YouTube channel, what kind of topics you cover, and, just tell us about it so they can connect with you if they would like what they are hearing from you today.
Appreciate it. So if anybody who's listening today, so appreciate that. And if you're inspiring to hear more, or even connect, but I do have the YouTube channel, Karrie Climbus GPS. And on there, I believe I got about 60 some videos at the present moment. So a lot of them are on time management skills, mindset, communication, organization, communication skills as well. And even also have almost more short videos under 4 minutes or less. I just started doing some shorts, but I also have videos, short videos on my services, my workshops, even examples of things or experiences I come across and are inspired to share and create a video. Because at the end of the day, my goal is to always support, create value for others who may come across these experiences or may be experiencing these things, and know that, we're all human. We kind of all can do the same things, similar ways, but, at the end of the day, believing that we're not all crazy.
Right.
You go, okay, good. So I'm just trying to be as relatable as I can for others, and they feel inspired to want to connect and keep hearing more.
Awesome. So if you guys want to connect with Karrie, by all means, check out her YouTube channel. It's on the screen, but it will also be in the description. We are so happy that you took some time with us and shared your wisdom with us, Karrie. Thank you for your time. And you all, as you are watching this, thank you for your time and attention. And as always, thanks for watching, and bye for now.
Thank you, everyone.